MovieWeb.com.
Well, Francis Ford Copola hasn't directed a film in 9 years, and so for his latest movie, he chooses you as the main star. I'd say that's pretty validating for an actor. I'm wondering, how did you get involved in the project?
I think he was seeing or considering a group of actors. I was working in Italy at the time, and he called up and said he wanted to send something to me, just to he said, I want to share something with you. I was like, okay. And so he sent this bizarre script to me that he'd been working on, and every page I turned was it went in a different direction, my jaw was dropped when I saw it, and then so I talked to him, and he flew into Italy to see me, and I asked him, how the hell are you going to do this? And he said, I really don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along. And so I remained in touch with him. I finished up and went back to my home and just remained in touch with him, and while he was deciding who it should be, and then eventually he said, all right, you're on, let's do it. And it's a very, it was a very daunting task to play this character, just in that, trying to figure out how to go about it, and so, but he helped me through that.
As far as it goes, it must be both interesting and challenging to play multiple roles, multiple characters in this film.
Yeah.
How did you kind of prepare for that?
Well, I just, we had a 5-week rehearsal period in which we could work on the character and different aspects of the character. And after that, when it came to filming, it seemed the best way to deal with it was just to work on just to pay attention to what was needed for that day and get through that day. Because even those days were very big and very dense and very kind of busy, very strange. So and Francis would help me out with just what I needed to know for that particular character, whoever I was playing, and to make the day. Really.
What did you find different about Coppola's directing style than from the previous directors you've worked with?
Oh, I never compare. Well, the way that he dealt with me was, we'd have conversations. He'd walk in the morning and he'd start a conversation with you about some philosophical aspect maybe, or something aspect of your childhood or whatever, and then once he felt he talked about that enough, we'd start shooting, and that would kind of inform what he was expecting of you, really.
In the film, it is a very complex character that you're playing. For those that aren't familiar with your character, can you explain a little bit about the background?
Well, he's a teacher, he's a linguist and a theologian, I suppose, and he's becoming senile. He's losing his mind, losing his memory, and memory is everything that he needs. To be a teacher. And so he decides that's enough, and he's been working on a book, and he hasn't even finished that. He's got no one in his life. He's got no romantic figure, no wife, no partner in life. So he decides to kill himself. And as he's in the process of doing that, he's struck by lightning, and when he comes out of the bandages, he's 40 years old. And then it changed, and then everything, and then many other things happen. So that's kind of what happens in the first 5 minutes, I think, and then it just goes down very, very, very strange roads. Very interesting story, crazy story.
What's that? Yes. And for you, what was the biggest challenge in that?
Well, I think keeping an eye on where the character was going. But the best stuff for me, the most fun stuff for me as an actor, was playing the old man. I enjoyed playing the old man. Going from 70 to 60 actually, around 60 through to 100 odd. And I really like that, because that's old style theatre in a way. Yeah. Funny walks and stuff.
Did you feel any pressure that this is Francis Ford Coppola and
I did.
a living legend?
Yeah, my panic generally happened before we started rehearsing, and then a little bit into rehearsal, and then it was gone. You have to, first of all, I had to step on it and get out of that, because you got to there's a lot of work to do, and Francis generally just makes that irrelevant. Because he knows there's a ton of stuff to do, and you get on with it, and really just he just dives into work, and so do you, and then come out of the other end exhausted, but hopefully with a film.
Well, your next big high-profile film is The Incredible Hulk, and can you tell us a little bit about your character in that film?
Play a character. His name is Emil Blonsky, who then becomes the Abomination. And I think it was from the Cold War years in the comic book series. Yeah, and apart from that, I can't say anything. Otherwise, they'll kill me. But I'm done. I finished a couple of weeks ago in Brazil. Knocked that out. Finished. That was a long haul. But it was a film that I did because I did purely for my kids.
Oh, great!
And stuff that I was involved in. We had a lot of fun making. It was insane. It's a circus.
So working with Francis was for you, and the Hulk was for the kids.
Well, they're all actually. I'd say both of them for me, really. And in the middle of that, I had Funny Games with Haneke, which is a very disturbing and strange movie. So it's been a very odd spread of characters over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Very strange and quite rewarding, really.